Boosie Badass just got exposed by political activist Angie Stanton King. And for those who are wondering, who is that? Angie is somebody who just got a second chance at life a few years ago, because back in the early 2000s, she went to federal prison while being pregnant. She actually had her baby handcuffed to a bed and 24 hours later snatched from her. While in prison for 2.5 years, she lost her mother. She lost her grandmother. She did her time. She got out. She got her kids. She could not apply for any government assistance. She had to do everything on her own. She had to figure it out. She ended up becoming an author, a successful business owner. After that, she ended up getting a pardon by Donald Trump in 2020 and regained every full advantage of her life back. And she also got pardoned on a state level. The whole slate was wiped clean. Now imagine having somebody with those type of connections. She wanted to vouch for Boosie to the president, and she was going through the process of that, and Boosie ghosted her. This is her side of the story.
So you can't buy a pardon. So buying a pardon is illegal. So what Boosie is doing is kind of like you went to go buy a kilo of cocaine and you got flexed on it, and now because they flexed you basically going to the police saying, hey, they flexed me on this. So and so I said, Boosie, I said, if Trump wins, I said, I want to try to help you get a pardon. And he said, okay, fine. And so Trump won. And so when Trump won, I wanted to keep my word to Boosie. So they had an event at the White House for Black History Month. And so I added Boosie's name to the list. We went to the White House. Boosie got flagged by Secret Service, so he wasn't allowed in the White House. But one of Trump's advisors, Lynn Patton, arranged a meeting at the Eisenhower building with Boosie, myself, Alice Johnson, who is now Trump's pardon czar. And I remember sitting in that meeting, and I don't know if you guys remember the pictures, they were posted, but I remember sitting in that meeting and I remember explaining to Alice that I believed that Boosie was somebody that should be considered to have a second chance. You know, when it comes to black men, especially when you guys, you know, are fathers and you got 8, 9 kids out here, you're businessmen, and we've all been young. I've been young. We've made mistakes. You know, I felt as though Boosie was ready to move forward and change his life. We went from being parents to now being grandparents, most of us. And so I remember asking Alice, you know, what, if any, pathway would be viable for Boosie? And she just said the first thing that she needed to see was his paperwork. She needed to see his petition, and she could possibly go from there. And I remember us leaving the White House that day, and Boosie was with Dwight DeLoach. You all know him, an old friend of mine. And I told Boosie, I said, Boosie, when we get back to the city, I said, go see Dwight, get your paperwork. I said, get it to me, let me look at it. I'm someone who, of course, is skilled in this. I've not only been pardoned by the president, but I've also been pardoned by the state of Georgia, the Board of Pardons and Paroles. And so I said, get the paperwork to me, let me take a look at it, and I'll submit it for you. And I didn't hear from Boosie anymore. And then I remember maybe calling, trying to check in, and I got a text from Dwight, and Dwight was like, I'm Boosie's attorney. You don't need to call Boosie. If you want to talk to Boosie, you need to go through me or something. I was like, what? I was like, whatever. And so I fell back.
It sounds to me like Boosie was looking for immediate results. It sounds like Boosie was looking for somebody who he could just hand off some money and they'll just come back with a pardon. He ain't got time to be trying to fill out no paperwork, going on a hope and a prayer. Well, we already know how that came back to bite him in the ass.
And then probably about 3 months after that, I remember getting an email from somebody, and they had asked me, it was Jacob and Walden, I believe, I need to pull it up. They had asked me if I would advocate for Boosie's case, and I was like, I already know about Boosie. And it was weird to me because in the email they didn't even spell his name right, and I was like, okay, cool. So I kind of already knew what that was, so I didn't say nothing, I let it go. So then me and Queen went to VS and we ran into Boosie and YF and Lucci. And I asked Boosie, I said, Boosie, what's up? What's going on with your partner? And he was like, oh, I got Trump real people on it. I was like, oh, okay. So I just walked off. I didn't say anything. And then probably about Another 3 months after that, I got a call from Boosie. He was like, Angela, you know, these people took my money. They ran off of my money. I need your help. And I'm like, who ran off with your money? What money? Who did you give some money to? Because I remember specifically when I told him I was going to try to help him with a part, he did make a donation to Auntie Angie's house. He had sent us 10 boxes of Lil Boosie's tater chips, the hot and spicy kind or whatever. So I already knew RFK was going to trip on that shit. He's like, you're not feeding those kids that garbage. But listen, but anyway, I was like, okay, we're going to go take it to the homeless people downtown, make some sandwiches or whatever.
Whoa, let's rewind. She runs into Boosie at an event after he already ghosted her. She asked him what's up with the pardon, and he said, I got Trump's real people on the line. Just imagine how that's a slap in the face. Boy, I done got you to the White House. I done got you speaking to high-ranking people. I got relationships. I done been through the process, and you're telling me, nah, I got Trump's real people on the line. Who are the real people? Not her? Is it because they're white? Is that what it is? And you gave your money away? And look where it had you crawling. Right back to me. Because them white people done robbed you. No mask. And this is how much Boosie is bootlicking the white man. He think they ice is colder. Because she said, you know what, Boosie, I don't want nothing from you. Only thing I ask is that you make a small donation to my foundation. And Boosie donated 10 boxes of Rap Snacks. Yeah, them spicy Louisiana chips where he looked like Ray Charles on the front. But he was quick to get him white man $600K because they bluffed him like they had Trump on speed dial.
So, but back up. So he was like, they took my money. I'm like, who took your money? He was like, Jacob and Wall. And I was like, what money? He was like, 600,000. And at that point, I was just blown because I just remember telling him, like, let me help you with it. And I was like, you know, you don't have to give me nothing but credit. I wanted to do it because he had shown love to me. So when that situation happened, I just kind of I felt some type of way, first of all, because it made me start thinking about several things, because I wanted to know, you know, what in your mind, you know, made you believe that your sister, who looks just like you, who's from your community, who understands your struggle, who wants to fight for you, who took you directly to the White House, couldn't get this done for you, right? And I can't promise a pardon, right? Yeah. The only thing I can do is promise that I can advocate. I don't make decisions for President Trump. I don't make decisions for Alice Johnson. I don't make decisions for Todd Blanche. I don't make decisions for Ed Martin. I don't make decisions for the Department of Justice. But I am someone that they will hear, right? But the decision is completely up to them. And it's a huge difference between, you know, an advocate and an attorney in this space. Anybody that is searching for an pardon, I would say in most instances, having an advocate is more important than having an attorney. And what people have to understand is that an advocate is in a lot of ways like an attorney, but very different. So an attorney, you can hire an attorney when you're in trouble, and your attorney can't promise the outcome of the case. The only thing he can promise is to represent you. But you want to hire an attorney that has the best relationship with the judge, the clerk, the people within his staff. So when you look for an advocate to advocate for you, you want to select an advocate who, of course, can't promise the outcome either, like an attorney, but someone who has the best relationship with the current administration. And I'm someone who has a relationship. Now, I don't know if it's the best, but can I call Alice Johnson? Yes. Can I call Ed Martin? Yes. Can I call Todd Blanche? Yes, I can. Can I call President Donald Trump? Yes, I can. Now, I don't know if he'll answer, but I can most certainly call.
Boosie heard what he wanted to hear from them white boys. They said they could call the president. They bluffed him. Didn't nobody in the White House know him when he had the blessing in front of him the whole time. If that's what you was looking for, you should have asked, hey, can you call the president? That was like music to his ears.
Like, how do you just completely, I don't know. It's like, is it psychological? Do we not believe that black women can make this happen? Alice Johnson is Trump's pardon czar. You know, Trump trusts a black woman to make these decisions. Trump put her in place. So when we start talking about race, I don't understand how Trump trusts a black woman, but my brother Boosie does not. And so you decided to go willfully give these people your money. Nobody robbed you. You didn't have to do it. But then to come back and, you know, even now, just looking at him online with the people that he named, like Laura Loomer and Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk is in the middle of a trial from her husband being assassinated. You know, Laura Loomer, she stands on everything when it comes to her people and Israel, and she'll let you know how she feel about me and Candace Owens and you a ghetto black bitch, and she wouldn't dare be associated with Boosie's ghetto ass. So to just watch you online publicly thanking people for making a statement, but you not one time call my phone and apologize. You ain't one time thank me for trying to help you. You haven't thanked Alice. Like, you been calling my phone like I'm the enemy. I better call RFK. Nigga, I ain't calling a motherfucker.
Damn, Boosie. She said that basically Trump put a black woman in charge of his pardons, helping him make the decisions. But you couldn't even trust a black woman to help you get that pardon. You done sit there and thanked every white person who made a statement saying, we don't know these white dudes that used our name to get your money. But you never thanked her for getting you to the White House. You ghosted her and didn't talk to her no more. You had Trump real people on the line. Now, Beehive Radio shouted, salute to the Atlanta legend, would ask the golden question. And that question would be, do you think that Boosie can still get a pardon? And without just saying plain out no, Angela King basically said, listen, Boosie made it hot. He made a spectacle out of this. Ain't nobody in the White House trying to attach their name to somebody that's acting like this. Boosie worried about that $600,000 when he should have basically just let it go because it was kind of borderline illegal what he was doing in the first place. Nobody's going to attach themselves to Boosie, but there are still people out there that deserve a pardon. But because Boosie's doing what he's doing, it's going to make people in that White House skeptical. And this is the same precedent. They gave NBA YoungBoy, Kodak Black, Lil Wayne a pardon, gave her a pardon. Now that might not be happening because of Boosie.
Do you think he'll eventually get one?
I mean, first of all, nobody want to be caught up in the mess that's going on right now because selling pardons is illegal. Yeah. I don't believe that anyone in this administration would want their name or affiliation tied to anything like that. You understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. And I had this conversation with Boosie, and I told him, you know, that there could be a side effect to this, because he was like, oh, I'm gonna sue. I got, you know, blogs in my inbox right now. Oh, I'm telling, they gonna get it. They gonna say Trump. But I'm like, Boosie, there are people that have been in prison 25, 30, 40, 50 years. We trying to get home. Like, yeah, you wanna cause a commotion, you wanna stop motion for everybody. What about the people free? You out now. Yeah. You just trying to clear your name, but you need several pardons, right? I had to have several pardons. So just same situation we seeing with Larry Hoover. Yeah, you could get a pardon from the president, but you still got situations everywhere that you need cleared up, right? And then the people you listening to the wrong people, right? He needs the right advocate, and he needs to listen to the right people. And unfortunately, you know, Boosie probably just don't trust a lot of people, but I felt like, honestly, I don't know, you know, he put himself in this position.
Damn shame, Boosie. You played yourself. You had the right one with you. But look what you did, man. Hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. Did Boosie really play himself? Do y'all think that Boosie should have just stuck with Angela? Or would you have went the route that Boosie went? Y'all let me know down below in the comments, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and hit that hype button, man. We out, baby. Boo! Just LaFlare.
It's him.